Hey guys, my name is Max Convexity. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's do a little end of the day report here and see how everything finished up. Looked like today was kind of a boring day for the first time in a while. Let's kind of check it out and see what happened. All right, well, let's start with triple QY. All right, so these guys right here sold options for 168. They had to buy them back for 57. That still left a profit of 1.1 million. They were originally going for 1.8. Earnings per share, 17 cents a share positive. That's awesome, right? That is awesome. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing it. It almost looks too good to be true. I need to check my math on it. But anyway, it's awesome. All right, so let's check out. Speaking of too good to be true, look at this dividend estimate at $1.30. That's crazy, isn't it? That is crazy. All right, so now let's look at JPY. Look at their dividend. It's $1.18 on them. All right, but these guys sold options for $32, and their options finished out of the money. So they realized the whole entire 600,000 that they were going for. So that's great. These guys are up 30 cents a share on an earnings per share basis. I mean, that is awesome. These guys are killing it. I mean, just a few days ago, they were down 56 cents a share. And a few days before that, they were down at $1.38. Boy, it's been a crazy month. Starting to get back to normal, though. All right, IWMY. These guys sold options for $27.38. They had to buy them back for $25, unfortunately. So they only made $96,000. They were going for about $1.5 million and did not end up getting the $1.5 million. So let's take a look at that chart. IWMY trades Russell options. Yeah, it just kind of petered out at the end of the day. It almost rallied and got back in the range right towards the close. It just didn't quite get there. All right. Well, now let's check USO out. The Defiance fund is called USOY. All right. These guys needed the ideal outcome for these guys would have been if this price of USO, of this ETF, of the USO ETF, the underlying, would have closed at $77 even. As it was, it closed at $76.61. Still a pretty good day. Let's go over here and let's look at the USOY spreadsheet. So that their option finished 39 cents in the money. So they sold those 77 strike puts for $1.70. And it finished 31 cents in the money. So then based on that, we can bring this stuff down. These guys' dividend estimates at $1.40. Okay. So we got, they were going for 286 and they made 233,000. Let's make sure all this other stuff. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Okay, this fund's having a good month, and $1.40 would be a nice dividend. We'll look at the Tesla crash trade. The Tesla crash trade is down about 7%. Today it was up a little bit. Today it was up 0.6%. Today crash was up 2.5%. Meanwhile, Tesla was down 1.77, but the ETF, or actually the pairs trade, would have been up 0.6%. So this trade is down it was down 6.38 since inception. This is all the wrong stuff here. Hang on. If anyone knows of a function that just adds a number automatically at the end of every day, because I add one row every day, but okay. Well, so actually, yeah, this is down 6.38%. Today's change is actually the pair is plus 0.6%. Yield on cost is right under 20% right now. All right, so let's go see what else we have to look at. Oh, yeah, okay, let's do some buffer trades. Let's do some buffer reports. I have two different kinds of buffer reports. Here's the special buffer report. Okay, so the special buffer report, it actually did not catch today's change. I shouldn't even be showing this today, but this just shows you over the past 7 days how these funds fared. SVOL and ZIVB and THTA had some pretty rough days when the market was selling off, but also some of these other funds, like some of these covered call funds, have a reputation for recovering slowly. So I separated by days, and I made a nice little graphic here. But the conclusion is this last graphic over here is the average, and on these days, JEPY actually won. It was the best performing out of all these funds. I will say SVOL was right behind. SPX was pretty much flat. ZIVB was down 4%. THTA is still down about 5%. Tomorrow I'll update this with today's numbers, and we'll take a look at the average. And here's the more conventional buffer report. Okay, I added FEPI. Well, I thought I added FEPI and AIPI. I meant to add FEPI and AIPI. It looks like I did not do it. Well, my apologies. Oh, there it is right there, AIPI, right? Row 23. Between FEPI and ULTY. Well, for whatever reason, it hasn't picked it up yet. Let's hit refresh and see if it fixes it. In any event, we can look at all the other results and see who's catching the most upside and who's buffering the most. And all right, well, all right, still no AIPI right there. We still have an AIPI mystery somehow. Oh, no, it's down here. Oh, I have two FEPIs. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, that's fine. All right, I'll fix that later. Look at this. SPY-T outperforming the benchmark. That is awesome. JEPY also outperforming by 200s. JEPI performing in line with the benchmark. SPY-I having a good day. Got about 95% of the benchmark's upside. iSPY killing it. iSPY getting way more than its share of upside, as was XDTE, as is SVOL. The big performer of the day is ZIVB. This freaking thing's crazy. You know, the volatility hit 60 for a brief second last Friday morning. Here we are just Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday. Is that right? Oh, no. It hit 60 last Monday for a brief second. Well, anyway, it hit 60, but here in just like a little bit more than a week later, we're back down trading at like a 18 volatility. Look at this. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. We're actually down to a 16. Anyway, SVIB shorts this security, VIX. And so whenever volatility is getting crushed, like it has been lately, when it goes from like a real high number from like 50 to like 20 in a week, that's the time when this ZIVB and SVOL should be should be really profitable, and they were. They are not disappointing. Okay, now something else I thought was interesting on here that I wanted to show y'all is, all right, so down here at the bottom, this is the one-day volatility. So this is the one-day VIX down here. So this is what when we sell, when you buy the ETF JEPY, they sell single-day options. They sell options that night and they expire the next night. 24-hour options. Well, you can't just look at the VIX. The VIX measures volatility on a 30-day, time horizon. You want to look at it on a one-day time horizon. And you can see here that just in a matter of a couple of days from July 29th, single-day vol was trading around 12. It was even trading around 12 as late as August 1st. But then it went in pretty short order up to, what is that? Above 40. So, and you could really see it in these premiums, and we're going to definitely see it in our distribution this month. I always show this Roundhill example. Is it still up? Yeah. The Roundhill dividends have doubled just in a very short time horizon. They went from 20 on July 18th to 41 on August 8th. So we're going to see the same thing happen here. Now, Tom made a comment that he's one of my commenters. It's the comments all the time. I appreciate it. But Tom made a comment that the volatility is behind us. The worst of it may be behind us. And yeah, he has a point. And so he's saying that the next dividend payment may not be all that huge, and that's true. It may not because volatility is subsiding for sure. But that's why I got this chart out. To see, to see what it went to. And it did, even this day when they sold volatility, it was above 40. Even on this next day, they sell it at the end of the day. JEPY does. It was still fetching 27. Then they sell vol the next day. Then it's 23. Then they sell vol the next day. 17. You get the idea. All right, so let's see what else we have to look at right here. $1 Million Baby Trade. Let's look at that really fast. Now, bad news on the $1 Million Baby Trade Part 2. It's down $2,800 today. I don't even know how that happens, but down $2,800. Wow. All right, so let's look at the $1 Million Baby Trade Part 1, though. I do know how it happens because we put on a lunch and the market went straight up after lunch. So, I mean, that's how that happens. Also, volatility went down. When you're buying options, you're long volatility. So if volatility is coming down, it's a headwind against you. Anyway, the original $1 Million Baby Trade is still up 15,000. You have to give them a few days to pan out. And also these trades, they have a little bit of a dead zone. And in the case of the new one, it's about 5% before it kicks in. So that's the other thing. You can't expect it to make money after one day. But if it does move, if we drop 5% tomorrow, this option position would be worth around 23 grand. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all for being here. I'm going to let you go. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll be back in the morning. Thank you very much.